Hi guys, a couple of you have asked me for a short comparison between Gustard X26PRO and Gustard X26 III. So this is the newer version, this is slightly older version. This one is based on dual Saber 1938 Pro, and this one is based on dual Saber 1939 Pro. So they are very similar in many ways, but the question is it worth upgrading from Pro to Free if you already own the Pro version? Now, let's talk about some differences and similarities. The first thing is that when I was getting X26 III, I was sure that this one is larger than X26 Pro. And as you can see, that's not the case. They are exactly the same in size. Yes, this one is silver, this one is black. Let's say that the external design is a matter of your personal taste. I like both of them. X26 III looks a little bit, let's say, modern, but X26 Pro still looks very solid because it's just a regular understated design. Now, in the front of the devices we have a power switch here and the Gustard logo that doubles as a switch here. We have information screen here, and we have larger screen over here and smaller over here. So for the screens, the win goes to X26 III because they just look nicer, but they are the same. They have the same readability level, meaning that if you're sitting close, you'll be able to read the contents of the screen. If you're sitting far away, it doesn't matter what kind of screen do you have, because it will not be readable. But the controls are better, in my opinion, on older X26 Pro, because here we have 3 touch buttons, and it's like you have to touch them and hold your finger for a while, and then it reacts. While here it's just very fast click and it works perfectly fine. So I'm a fan of physical buttons like those. On the sides, in case of the older device, we have venting holes because Saber 1938 Pro is way hotter than the new version. So this one is actually running quite hot. While this new guy, let's say it's warm to the touch, but nothing serious. But for this guy, you should prepare some better air ventilation around than for the newer version. Now, in the back, what are the similarities and what are the differences? Obviously, both of them are able to output both balance signals and RCAs, but this little guy has a streamer built in, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. The rest of the inputs is very similar. We have, in both cases, we have optical SPDIF, and we have external clock input, we have AS, ABU, EBU inputs, and we have coaxial SPDIF input. But the older version also gives us Bluetooth connectivity. The newer one doesn't have that, but we have a streamer. In both cases, we have USB connectors and I2S connectors. Now, this guy has built-in streamer, and the streamer has quite good quality. So this is actually something very nice, because for a very similar price, you are getting good quality streamer. Bluetooth here, on the other hand, is not something that honestly I was using very often. I struggle to remember even the single time when I was using Bluetooth on this X26 Pro. Now, about those guys and about those guys. Both digital to analog converters will benefit from external digital to digital converter. X26 Pro is using older XMOS chipset, X208, and this guy uses slightly newer X216 XMOS chipset. In reality, they provide very similar, let's say, sound quality, but more on that later. And the specification for both of them are exactly the same. So both of them will benefit from something like SyncSar SU6. And the same goes for the clock. The newer version is supposed to have a better upgraded clock internally, and that may be one of the reasons for slightly better sound quality. But in both cases, both of them will benefit from external 10 MHz clock, and this is maybe not exactly a night and day difference, but this is one single best upgrade for either one of them. So now, yes, one more thing. The new version has a power rocker on the back, and the older version doesn't have anything like that. In both cases, we have power connectors with integrated fuse compartments, and you can replace the stock fuse with something better. Gustards recommends their own fuses, which are actually quite good, but everyone on the web recommends SR Purple, Synergistic Research Purple fuses for Gustards digital to analog converters. Now, about the sound quality. Both Sandu and Tabarmar say that X26 III is better, and they both explain the differences in a slightly different way. Tabarmar says that X26PRO gives you something like 80% or something like that of X26 III. Now, in my case, I've compared them directly head to head, and there are a few caveats. In general, X26 III is more of the same, meaning across the board you'll get more detail, you'll get more transparency, slightly better quality treble, slightly smoother, but overall the differences are not that big. Why? Because this still is top of the line, excellent digital to analog converter. X26 III is slightly better, but the differences are not night and day. And the interesting thing is that if you will invest in external clock and external DDC for X26PRO, this will push it very close to X26 III. So the first investment, if you already own X26PRO and you want to push it further, get external clock generator. It doesn't have to be something fancy from well-known brand. You can get one of the clock generators that are targeted towards radio astronomy. I've been reviewing one of those, and I'll try to link to the offer if I won't forget that. If I will forget, just give me a shout in the comments. And so basically, getting a DDC and clock, especially clock, and the clock is cheaper than DDC, will push Gustards X26PRO towards X26 III. Now, this is the obvious upgrade path. What happens if we will use external clock and external DDC on X26 III? And I can tell you what happens, because that's exactly what I did. I already owned external SyncSar SU6 and external clock. So when I have upgraded the digital to analog converter to new X26 III, I've immediately used both clock and DDC with the new unit. And again, you will be able to push X26 III even further, meaning that the distance between the sound quality of that guy and that guy will be larger. And what does it mean in practice? In practice, my advice is, if you already own X26PRO, the first step on your upgrade path should be external clock and DDC. Why? Because if you save some money for X26 III, the same upgrades that you will have for this guy will perfectly work with this guy. and upgrading this guy as a first step, first upgrade step, will push it almost to the level of X26 III. The differences will still be there, but they are really, really small. And basically, it boils down to more transparency, more detail. With transparency goes slightly more open AV sound. But both of them are top-of-the-line digital to analog converters, so the differences are not that big. And if you haven't heard X26 III, you may be perfectly happy living with X26 Pro, as I was for many, many years. So, if you have one, do not buy X26 III immediately. Get external clock and DDC as a first step. If you already have X26 Pro and DDC and external clock, then save some money and go ahead towards X26 III, because all of your previously bought upgrades for Pro version will work perfectly fine with X26 III, pushing it even further. Now, if you really need to have streamer, and the streamer here is really good, then the choice is obvious. Sell X26 Pro and go for X26 III and its built-in streamer. In my case, I wasn't using streamer here so much, because as a source I'm using HTPC with my local file collection on SSD drives. Yeah, but if you need streamer, then this is the obvious choice, because the price difference is not that big. And I think that's it. Yeah, one more thing. Both of them are using exactly the same remote, the same cheap plastic remote that works. I have to admit that though I would really prefer something full metal and really elegant looking, the plastic remote works just as well, and I can attest to the fact that it will probably live longer than the metal one, because if you drop something like that, it won't damage your floor, and there is a very high chance that it won't be damaged itself. So that's it. Summary for the third time. If you own that one and just that one, go for the upgrades. If you own X26 Pro and DDC and external clock, then go ahead and buy this guy and use your upgrades on this one too. If you need external streamer, if you don't have a streamer, if you want one, or if you just want to have excellent quality streamer, just go ahead and get X26 III, because streamer here is really good, and I have to agree with both Sandu and Tawarmer that getting streamer with comparable quality would be almost twice the price if you would be buying something like that separately. So all in all, this is a very good buy. And that's it. I hope this short video helped you in some way. I've seen that there is a dedicated thread on HiFi where guys are asking and talking about the reasons for the upgrades and the differences between those two and X30. So I may do a video on that a little bit later, if I'll be able to get X30 from my neighbor once again. So the parting look at both of them, and remember that this guy is still excellent value. If you don't have any of them, then you may as well go with second-hand X26 Pro, because the prices are lower now, and make no mistake, this is still top-of-the-line digital to analog converter with extremely good sound quality. And that's basically it. Thanks for watching and have a great day, guys. See you next time.